Welcome to the Marlene Cox Show. You know, I have been so excited for all of these this season. I'm just running off of the board, off of the runway, but excitement because we're moving forward. But before we get started, I have something I'd like to share with you. You know, our big word this season is purpose. But let me share this with you by Maya Randolph. When I first moved to New York, someone who thought they knew more than I said, "You have to always look like you know where you're going when you get out of the subway." So that's a thought. Keep that in mind. And remember, you are watching the Marlene Cox Show.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Well, we're back again. And you know, as we opened up earlier, we are so excited about all these different things that are happening and illusions and things that are happening in our industry. So let's get started today with today's show. You know, with all the wicked perceptions and illusions, the fashion industry today, if you are from the old school, as far as R&B, music generation, then you will remember the iconic group of the Temptations. You know, they were the making of the Berry Gordy. I think we all know of Berry Gordy and the music machine of Motown. And I'm telling you, I'm mentioning them because of their hit song was "Beauty is Only Skin Deep." The standards in the industry have definitely changed over the past decade. But more noticeably over the past 4 years, however, there are still pockets that still standardize the European idea of beauty. We all know, don't we, what those are, as we have covered those and several times on this show. The fact that fashion world has acknowledged that beauty comes in many shades and hues and sizes is a huge step towards demonstrating there are others at the table. And that's a good place to be, that all of these sizes and hues are going to be sitting at the table. So that's you and me and everyone else. We are encouraged but the realization of applying the different shades of beauty across the industry is yet to materialize. And a little bit is yet to materialize, but I think we're moving towards that. On a barter scale, we're moving towards materializing a little bit more, but we have to look at the whole broad scale. That's notwithstanding, let's discuss some trends that have seemed to find their way into the conversation. And we will be right back.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show.
Watching the Marlene Cox Show. Finally, a show for models about models.
Okay, so today we're going to take a peep of a few of these notions and discussions, Valencia, and relate the frustrations. Whether those trends are concerns or not, will help provide insight. So, are you prepared and informed? So here we go, Valencia. We are prepared and we are ready to get started on all of those things. Say hi, Valencia. How you doing?
Hi, doing well.
You're doing well. You're looking great as usual.
You too.
You're looking real great as usual. So we're going to kind of like, we told them we're going to dive right in and we're going to start informing them of all of these things. So as we already stated in our introduction, the standards of beauties have changed constantly. Are extremely confusing. It can be confusing for the young people that we serve in the model and fashion and beauty industry. It can be confusing. The first one of these perceptions will be, like discussed, is, oh my goodness, eternal youth perception. Whether you're a male or female, the pressure you must look young, even if you're 60. Is this real? Do you think this is real?
No,
It's
it's unrealistic.
Unrealistic.
It's a real thing, but it's unrealistic.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. And my thought on that, let's face it, external youth does not exist. We are, like we said in one of our other shows, we're revolving. We're constantly changing. And a lot of the seasoned models and the new face models and talent can relate to this grid about the industry's and society obsession with youth. Okay, and the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance is a struggle for both men and women. Remember that, men and women. While there is nothing wrong with wanting to look and feel your best, nothing wrong with that. We all should want to look and feel our best. It's essential to remember that aging is a natural process. And my thing with that, aging is really a natural process, but how you age, for some of us, and most of us, not all, it's really up to you. It's really up to you. So don't be too hard on yourself. Laugh lines are just a testament to a life well lived. And you know, one of the things before I go on, Valencia, and I bring you in, this is a thought that I really do believe. I don't believe in aging gracefully. What I do believe in is striving.
You don't
to
believe in aging gracefully?
No, this is what I believe in. I believe in that. No, I don't believe in aging people, but what I do believe in is striving to be the best version of yourself.
Okay.
That you'll never stop growing. That aging is cool. It's okay. So
okay
in
to
that
age,
sense,
you know?
I say it's gracefully,
It is,
but you don't have to stop there. Just be the best version of yourself that you can be.
I mean, you know, I'm like 35, but I know I'm starting to see wrinkles, and like I told my sister the couple weeks ago,
Wrinkles?
like I can tell I'm getting older. I see, like when I smile, like I have these little lines in my nose, blah blah. She's like, "You're fine, you look good," and like, yeah. So I'm starting to use creams already and just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to like look like I'm 20s. I know I'm not, but it's like you said, I want
You
to
want
look
to
like the
take care
best
of
version of
yourself.
myself.
You want to be and it's not like looking like your 20s.
Right.
And I say that we need to do those things. We have to have a skincare along with our eating and our diet. We should have that regimen of, you know, cleansing our face at night before we go to bed. Models, removing all that makeup, and actors and talent and entertainers. You got to get that junk off your face, clean your skin, let that skin breathe. And you do need to start based on your skin type, texture, and what you're going through. You need to make sure that you're putting the proper things on your skin at night. You know, for the keep your, you know, you got to work with this. This is the biggest organ of our body.
Yep.
So we have to work with that. So it's nothing wrong with starting to put, you had a good point. Start doing it now,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I believe this. I truly believe this. Wherever stage you are with your body and your skin, start right now and you can make a difference.
Yeah, and I know like some people overdo it, like with the Botox.
Oh, God.
Like, okay, I understand like a little bit, but you shouldn't like get so obsessive with it that you like say if you're 30 something. I was watching a show on a reality show, and this girl, she was like, I think she might have been in her late 20s, but she was already doing Botox, and she looked good though. So she looked good with it. But I see some people who overdo it. Like she was another lady in her 30s, and I saw her from one reality show, and then I saw her again in this other show on the Kardashian show. And it wasn't a Kardashian, it was one of their friends, but it's like I couldn't hardly recognize her.
Yeah.
She must have had like some Botox or some surgery. Like she was so beautiful before.
Yeah.
And she did all this stuff to her face.
Yeah, I mean, you don't recognize them. 20's too young. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I am a licensed cosmetologist, so I have a right to have an opinion. I worked in this industry. But I'm just saying that's just too young. When I first started getting wrinkles, I came over to Bethesda and went to this surgeon, and I'm like, I want to tighten it, I want to pull it up, and I want to do it. And they started talking about pulling it up and putting stuff in my things and talking about your bones. I said, well, that's my high cheekbones. I'm not trying to change the way I look and pulling my eyes way up here so I look like I scared people. I said, oh, honey, this is not for me. This is not for me. I'll just go back and do some extra. So I think you need to, with caution with some of that stuff. I mean, I really see them. I've heard of like 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, parents letting them go get Botox. And see, the point that people don't realize, and when you look at people my age, say anybody from 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds, they start doing that stuff when they get 60, they look 80. Because that stuff starts dropping. Your skin's going to thin out. I don't care who you are. That's just the nature of how we're made up. And then they start dropping. Have you seen some of the stars who are very attractive and they get the lips? And I'm like, you got a skinny nose and you got thin skin. Why do you want them lips? They don't look good on everybody. We just happen to be blessed with them, Valencia. Right. But, I think you're altering your appearance. Some things I just think you just taken away. I knew a young lady who the whole family went and got their hips done and they like look they look like monsters now. They were pretty girls. All of them were pretty, and they just did too much. They just did too much. So it is a big problem. I think there's such thing as perfect skin.
The quest for perfect skin.
Yeah. It's a request for it. But that's through request for having...
The quest for perfect skin.
Perfect skin, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change. I better wait till the next time. It probably change. Yeah, so for perfect skin, flawless, dewy skin, everyone has blemishes. I don't agree with that. Everyone doesn't. Some people get a little here and there. Some people get blemishes only when they're teenagers, and when they get a certain age, they don't. So it all depends on your skin type and what's going on with your body. Dry patches, and dry patches has a lot to do with not having enough, being hydrated enough, and not doing those things that you saying you're starting to do. Moisturize your skin, hydrate your skin at night with creams and water. You can't, you can't really go along. Redness sometimes is a condition. Sometimes people do have that. There's things you can get skin peelings and things like that to take the redness away and stuff. So some of these things are a little crazy, little humps that won't go away. But there are things like someone who has the redness of the skin. I have a friend, and she
rosacea.
Rosacea. I mean, that's a condition. So I can see someone going in for treatment for that, getting a surface for something like that. I mean, that makes sense that you can do. But good skin care, diet, and exercise. I don't care what stage your skin is in, it will make it better. It would make it better. And you start noticing them things when you get 30. So you're doing good. You didn't start noticing until 35. Oh, she looks like she's 20. But anyway, she just starting to notice those things. But because you notice those things, you need to start dealing with taking care of those things now, because it's better for you. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I'm like your sister. I don't see it, but nobody knows what they see better than what you see. That's just like people trying to tell me I'm not big. Well, to me, I'm big. So until I get to till I get to where I want, but I mean, it's all in our perception of ourselves and where we want to be. And I did grow up in that age. If you weren't 100 pounds, you were fat, and trying to recondition my mind to be good with my bone structure and my height and my age, it's not easy to twist that. It's not easy, but you have to continue to work on that, because when I grew up, you had to look like Twiggy if you weren't happening. So so those type of things, dewy skin. We can. There's so much stuff in the beauty commercial, and the problem with that, Valencia, people don't know what to use. And one of the things that I think would be great for us to do at my modeling, talent, and consulting firm is to do some skincare classes and basic application of foundation and makeup, because everybody's skin is different. You got to buy for your skin. And if you go in the average woman's home, they got so many products up there. They buy this because they hear that commercial, and it's not working for them.
It's crazy. Like a lot of women, we have a lot of routines, all this stuff. This step, this step, this step. Men, they get like some Dove soap, wash their face, and that's it. And they don't have no acne like that. And like, why is it like that?
Yeah, that's true. They don't go through all of that.
Yeah.
But then there's the perception right there too. When a man is 60 and grand and he's losing something, we say, oh, he's handsome. When a woman does that, they say, oh, she's aging. So men, I understand what you're saying. They don't go through all that routine, but they're beginning to.
Yeah.
Men are beginning to go into a lot, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in this segment. I'm going into that too.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Like I think it was Brad Pitt. I think he has his own. He has his own skincare.
Oh, he does.
Too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you got to take care of the skin, and you got to add back what we take out from the environment, what we take out from showering and bathing and things like that. You got to put things back.
Yep.
Yeah. So. I tell you, it's a lot to take care of yourself. So just thinking you're going to put a whole bunch of makeup on is going to do the job. It's not. It's not. Yes. So anyway, we're going to go out on a break. And guess what? I guess you know. What is it? You're watching The Marlene Cox Show.
You're watching The Marlene Cox Show, a show about models for models.
And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
We are back. Hey, Valencia, we're getting ready. Where are you going to take us somewhere really nice? Have you guys been
not
writing
really
things?
nice.
It's not really nice, but it's part of that whole perception and what we think about life. So where are you going to take us down, Valencia?
So now we're going to talk about the bald truth. So some people my age, they may say, I've got thinning hair, and I know I'll be bald before I'm 30, which is very unfortunate. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants
that. Probably before I'm 25, and it sucks to feel like that. Some people say that. And for guys, it is different, can be different. Most guys choose to shave their head rather than deal with the whole hair loss issue. And ironically, that works for them because a lot of guys, instead of rocking the whole George Jefferson look, they'll just shave the rest of the hair off, and a lot of times they look good. They look better
good.
that way.
Yeah.
But for women, if you're suffering from like alopecia, hair loss, and you walk around looking like with that, you probably won't feel too good about that. And some of them, they will shave their heads, and that takes a lot of confidence to do that. So people who do shave their heads, either like cancer, people have cancer and they shave the rest of their hair and walk around with a bald head. It takes a lot of confidence, a lot of work on your self-esteem, because that would be hard for me if I had to walk. So more power to you to do that. That takes a lot of self-will and strength to do that.
Yeah,
it's a lot, especially for women. Our hair is like everything.
Yes.
For me, especially I like to rock different hairstyles, all of that. But for women, hair loss is a concern that many models and talent share, and it's no laughing for those going through it, which I previously said. The pressure to keep a full head of hair can be challenging, I'm sure. I can imagine. It's hard enough embracing your hair's natural journey, but if you're so inclined, you can join the Jada Pinkett Club. And also, what's her name? One of the Braxton sisters. Tawanda.
Yeah,
she shaved her hair. She has alopecia.
She has alopecia. Yeah, she does have that, and it was an emotional thing for her. that they are part of my family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of emotional for her when that happened. You know, so it's kind of hard.
Imagine.
I haven't. Well, it's coming back now. I had a stress alopecia, and because I have very soft curly hair, and I've never really over years never really dealt with my own hair. It was either braids or something, a weave or something like that, and after stress pulls that back. I don't have that. To just do the Jada Printon. Jada Printon look, I know she looked good. That girl looked good. But I mean, I don't think I can look that good. And some of my friends have said to me, why don't you just shave it? I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. So you have to feel comfortable in your skin. And you know the thing that's so nice, Valencia, we have choices today. You don't have to. You don't really
wear
have
wigs.
to.
People choose to wear wigs. I know one model on America's Next Top Model, she had alopecia, and I think when she came on the audition for the show, she wore a wig. But I can't remember if they told her to take it off in the audition, or I know midway through the season she did take it off and embraced her, the bald head. She's beautiful though. She pulled it off.
Yeah.
So I seen her on Instagram recently. She had I think she had twins, and so she does wear wigs every now and then. Beautiful either way.
Yeah.
But you have options nowadays.
Yeah, you have options. And if that's your option, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, just like men today, they have options. You know, the majority of men, I won't even say that because I don't know, it appears that they just shave it off. And then you have those other section of men who actually get a hair transplant.
And now they have the male wigs too now.
Yeah, but I ain't like them. Most of the guys don't know how to keep them on their head right.
Well, they have like the lace wigs too.
Yeah, they do have the lace. It almost
looks, you can't tell. It's like a catfish, but
yeah, it is a cat. Yeah, it looks good.
It looks so different. First, like before and after, like it's not the same person. It's crazy.
Hair, I'm for it depends on what you want to do. Hair does kind of make a little difference, and people, even some of the models that I know who are bald, they wear a lot of makeup. They're kind of compensating for it, And some people say, I have friends who say once they hit 60, because of blood pressure and all that, they started having a medicational alopecia. And they just said instead of bugging with it, they just shaved their head off, and just went that. And they look good, but I notice they're always heavily made up all the time. And I mean, it looks good. That's being good in your skin. Got confidence in your skin. Yeah. that's very good to have that. And and Jada Pinkett sounds good to me.
Yep. So we have the one size fits all standard weight. So in Korea, girls are supposed to be a certain weight regardless of height. How does that make any sense?
It doesn't. It don't make no sense to me. Yeah.
So the beauty standard of a universal weight for all girls in South Korea is indeed ridiculous. But beauty should celebrate individuality. And forcing everyone into the same weight category, it defies common sense. It's unrealistic. It's unnatural. In reality, a healthy weight varies for each person, according to your size, your height, depending on factors like the body composition and genetics. So remember that you are unique, whatever size you are, whatever height, and that's something to celebrate, not conform to a number on a scale. And I know that's like, especially for a lot of women, we always step on the scale. We want to be this weight. If it's not this weight, I'm not. Something's wrong.
Yeah, no.
And I know, people in my family, I know they kind of. I'm not gonna call anybody out, but anyway, some people in my family use the scale, to see how much weight they lost. But it's not always about the weight. Sometimes you're losing inches, and the scale might say the same, but you are losing inches. I know some physical trainers, they measure the weight, the arms, and the legs, the inches, how many inches that you lost versus the weight. Yeah. So that's another perspective. It's not always about the weight, and also sometimes. Maybe even if you're gaining weight, if you're exercising, sometimes that's like muscle mass.
Yeah, right. And you're toning so well. Yeah. So and I had to come to that conclusion too. Understand your body, your bones, and it's easy to figure it out. You just get that little wrist, and you go to that wrist, and both fingers close. You medium. If they close all the way over, you're small. If they keep a gap, you're large boned. So face what you face, and go with what you have for your body competition. And but a lot of those foreign countries, they are really funny about that whole weight thing. I mean, there's some people who have actually, I don't know which company, but they actually take their ribs out so they can look that thin. I mean, that's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
Now you're dabbing into your health issues and other things just to have that. And you don't, sometimes, depending on a person, you just don't look that good. You look gaunt. You look unhealthy. And the whole thing is about looking healthy.
You know, those waist trainer things, that was a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, but people wearing the waist trainers and the corsets make their waist look thinner. I've seen this one person on Snapchat. They have these like little small short shows on Snapchat, and this lady, she took out some of her ribs, like I don't know, maybe like 2-3 of her ribs,
people do it,
and just to have a really small waist. It looks kind of scary. It's like, it just looks scary. She thinks she look good, but it's not.
No. Well, let me tell you one. I'm going to go ahead and talk about. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to share an experience with you as we were talking. You were saying about the numbers on the scale, and one thing that there's more people representing models, even models with disabilities. That people are looking for models in a range of shapes, skin tones, and ethnicity. So it's not so much. We're getting there. As we stated in the show, it hasn't gotten there yet, but we're getting there. And it's so, I mean, if you got to do all of that to look, I don't know if I would really want to do that, but I'm going to tell you an experience I had. Some of you guys, and I won't call out the name, this commercial was on TV, and it's all over. I've been in North Carolina, been to Atlanta and D.C., and they have an office here in D.C. I think it's in Virginia, and I actually went out to see about it. And it's actually where they take out your fat. So in my mind, I thought, oh, they're going to lay a machine across me, and they're going to work on my stomach. And they talk about the stomach. You've probably seen the commercial. I won't say the name. And I mean, and it really works for a lot of people. But one of my things was I went for the consultation, and that woman started talking about, we're going to cut you and suck the fat out and stitches, and it's surgery.
Yeah.
I walked out of there, I said, and I mean, the lobby was packed, every shade, every size. I said, I don't need that. I'm not dealing with that. Then when I went back to read, and that doesn't happen all the time, in any surgery, you can get your teeth pulled out and die. I'm not saying that. But a lot of people have died, from having different types of things. Their body rejected, not the surgery was bad, but their bodies have rejected different things. Yeah. I said, that is not worth it. You're going to go in and they're going to suck the fat out. And see, the true deal is, if you don't diet and exercise and do all of those things, you're going to put it back on anyway.
Yeah, like a lot of people get surgery and they don't take care of themselves, and then they end up having they have to get another surgery because they're not doing what they're supposed to do in the first place to maintain that.
Nothing's going to beat diet and exercise.
That's true.
It's just not. I mean, really. And when you went back to the weights, he said, when you went back to weights and all that kind of stuff, I believe in that. I just work out, and I think I look thinner to a lot of people because I work out. But size-wise, I haven't really went up but a size.
Okay, that's good.
I went up but weight, but because of the exercising, it kind of keeps it tight and toned. Yeah. So you kind of do what you got to do.
Yeah, like Angelette Bassett, she looks good.
Oh goodness, doesn't she? Now she's amazing. Yeah. Her and that, the arms. But she's just a workout queen. She started very young, doing that, and another one got them gorgeous arms. Michelle Obama. Hi, Michelle. How are you? We would love to get you on the show. That's my girl. But they have great arms. So I find myself, I have an arm machine downstairs that I work it out on, because you can do those things naturally. Yep. And I'm a firm believer, if you might not be what people call perfect, but it'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but you can rearrange and make your body do. There you go. Be your best you. Okay. Yep. So I think it's about that time. Not yet. So we're going to keep on going. So we want to go into grooming grinds. I'm sorry, grooming grinds. And that's all that waxing and shaving and plucking, and it's exhausting. I don't know if it never stops or not. I'm fortunate enough I've never had to shave.
That's nice for you.
Yeah, I never had to shave. I mean, it's just, and it's so crazy because my husband grew up in a house with 6 sisters. And he said, well, I said, I'm not hairy. Legs, I'm thanking God I still got eyebrows. I've never had, I don't know, but maybe one of my sisters who've ever had to shave. I just don't have to do that. So I don't, other than plucking my eyebrows, other than that, I don't know exactly what that experience is like, but I know unwanted hair, hide and seek, leave us feel both is a triumph thing for some people, but it's a hygienal thing too, and it's a feminine thing, and that's just part of our grooming grid, grind, or what is it, grind.
Like hair in the underarms. Like, most women are expected to, shave or wax their underarms. Men don't have that expectation. They can just do whatever.
Yeah, and that's something I noticed too. Now, I did have some criticism, guys. Okay, you NFL players, I had some criticism. I noticed some guys shave under their arms. I said, oh, Lord, that's just too much hair. Boy, go shave your arms.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's a lot. I don't like a whole lot of
some of them need to go shave. Some of them need to go shave. So it's about that time, and we're, you're watching the Marlene Cox Show.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
When you look at what hair does, hair brings people together.
Hair is an expression of ourselves. Hair is an expression of our roots. It's an expression of our future. It's an expression of our artistic capabilities. Hair is everything.
Ashtay is a combination of my 2 daughters' names, Ashley and Taylor.
We actually started Ashtay products on a dare, believe it or not.
My wife dared me to go out on my own because I had turned down quite a few offers from other companies.
I said, so what are you going to do if you so bad, why don't you start your own blankety company? And he said,
that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Just like that. We saw there was a need for a product that took care of this new combination, coined global texture.
You have an African-American father, Hispanic mother, so therefore our daughter's hair represented global texture.
Here they are in the early 90s with 2 mixed children who have this hair texture that's like, ¿qué es esto? What is this? And they needed to find a solution for that.
We created global texture, therefore, who knew best how to deal with it? Ashtay has a unique blend of amino acids and conditioners and moisturizers that help to deal with the global texture market.
We impact our customers' lives through education, through them selling retail. Now they're able to have a profitable business, take care of their families, build and create first-generational wealth.
The education of the stylist to think, to be accountable, to save money, we put that first, then we sell the product.
Most people just look at the stylists differently than we do. We look at them as entrepreneurs and as business people who want their kids to have the best education and travel the world and experience the finer things of life.
We have thousands of cosmetologists that have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they credit us for it. And in turn, they are extremely loyal to the brand. We truly look at every single one of our clients as they're part of our family.
We don't just sell a product, we build relationship. It is our goal to know our customers name by name, person by person, and impact their lives moment by moment.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
Welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show.
Oh man, this is so good, Valencia. We're going to just dive right back into that, the end result of after all of the shaving and the plucking and whatever process that you want to use for that. Everyone is striving for that silky smooth look, and you don't want the little stubbles and things like that. And if you don't know what to do with that, you can always give us a call at the Maya Model and Talent and Consulting Agency, and we can help you out. Info at Maya Models, and we can help you out with that. So it's like so it's part of grooming. Some people say it's love hate. I don't know whether that's what it is or not.
For me, it feels like that way.
Does it? So
does.
you have constant.
I mean, like I wax, and I used to shave like underarms, but now I wax. I do my own since the pandemic. I learned how to do it myself.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
But it hurts, That's the part I hate about it. But it lasts a long time.
Yeah. The waxing is much better than shaving, and it doesn't come back as stubble.
Right.
As
thick and all that.
Yes, thick. Yeah. So the waxing, and it actually goes down there and it pulls it out of the papilla, the follicle a lot better.
Yeah.
So it lasts a little bit. But of course, if you're pulling it out of that, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to have some pain. It's going to have some pain.
Now they have like the at-home lasers, hair removal lasers.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, on Temu.
My mom loves her some Temu. So my mom loves her some Temu.
Oh, tell your mom I do too. Maybe me and her need to change some ideas. I love Temu. I love it. Oh, we got to go after them for one of our sponsors. You hear me, Temu? I'm coming.
So
okay.
We're going to move on to height anxiety. So some people, I feel bad for guys that are insecure about their height because they're not 6 feet. This is kind of funny because my friends and we were out the other day at a bar, and we were just having a conversation about dating, and my friend asked me, would you date somebody who was shorter than you? I said, I prefer not to, but I prefer my height or taller. That's not everybody, of course. Some women are okay with dating a shorter man, but I just prefer my height or taller. But anyway.
Well, I'm sorry, girlfriend. I'm with you, and I'm a shorty. I want them tall, at least 6 foot. Sorry. I'm a shorty.
The height, they say, is just a number.
Yes.
But for some guys, it's a tall order to measure up to society's and the industry's expectations of being tall. The truth is, the majority of men fall below the 6 foot mark, which is fine.
It is. Nothing wrong with that.
It's perfectly normal.
Because it's worked for them too. Yeah.
So we can't help but poke fun at the notion that all guys need to be towering giants, which is not true. It's a little jokey joke. It's essential to remember that self-worth doesn't come with a height requirement, of course. So whatever, if you're a smaller, shorter guy, but I see like a lot of shorter guys, tall guys too, but some of the shorter guys, they have like a lot of confidence. Like T.I., he's short, he's very confident in himself. Kevin Hart,
that's my guy. I love Kevin Hart. You don't even think about him being after they do certain things, you're not even thinking about that. So it's just really it's preference.
Yeah.
Everybody has a right to whatever preference that they want, and that goes back to the model industry says you got to be this, but then it depends on the area that you're in. If you're not on the runway, you don't have to be that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that. You don't have to be that because you're doing different things. There's other work. The modeling is not just runway. We got to get that straight. There's so much commercial and TV. There's so many campaigns. There's so many things. You look at now we're going through the season of elections. So some of those people are live people. Some of those people are models, and they look like ordinary people. People look for ordinary people.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of shorter female models like Kate Moss, but I haven't really heard of like shorter male models. Maybe I should look into that because I don't hear a lot of short male models in the
commercials.
runway.
You'll see them more in commercials. You'll see them more in public service announcement type things, but the ones that they pull out. But I tell you what, I was looking at New York Fashion Week last year. If you go back and go in there and look at the video for 2024, but it was in the fall when the season first came in. I caught a couple short guys on the runway. I don't know how short, but they weren't the standard. And I was like, and they look good. You know what I mean?
I think that's important too, to see some of the shorter guys on the runway. Just for other people. Not every guy is going to be 6 foot 5, 10. So I think if they show a little bit more shorter men on the runway, that's really promotes diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, it is. Good. And really, I had a complex about that for years. I'm 5'3". I always wanted to be at least 5'7". But you start learning how to be comfortable in your skin. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be a model, and they told me a couple things. My lips were too big, my skin was too dark, and I was too short. Well, I did billboards in Philadelphia. I did magazine covers. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Yeah. And that gave me my confidence back. And then that whole world in Canada, the petite models are going out the yang. It's a big market there for petite models.
I need to move to Canada.
Yeah, they go to Canada, yeah. I mean, you just got to research the market, and that is a big market over there. Okay. But it gives you your confidence back, especially in the era that I came up in the 70s and then the 80s. They were you just wasn't that. And they used to take and put makeup on me and put white paint on thin my lips, and now my lips are the lips. And I was short, so okay, you say that, but billboards back then was a big thing. Going through the larger cities, going to New York when you get to Times Square, all those billboards and TV. Now they got more like TVs and models and things like that. I did grace the covers of Beauty Trade magazine. So there's a lot of things that once you can't, that's why I tell people you can't give up. There's something out there for everybody. You just got to find your niche. And height is not the everything. I mean, I've seen tall guys who don't have confidence.
That's true.
And so it all depends on who they are and what they're looking for. And I like guys who don't let that influence them to go do what they need to do, even in our industry. And Kevin Hart, I love him. I think he's amazing. And 50 Cent not that tall, is he?
Who?
50 Cent. About 5'7".
I don't know how tall he is.
Yeah, he's not what they were in the industry. Well, see, one thing about entertainers industry, that height has nothing to do with anything. It's just that modeling world. Height has nothing. I think we're about the only industry that really. Because if you look at Tom Cruise and all those guys, they're not tall.
Right.
They're not tall. They're the average height, So it just depends on the industry. So it's really good to know that it has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with a person's self-worth. And I was so happy to see the guys of 9 of 6 foot up on that runway last year in New York Fashion Week. Can't remember the designer who had them up. It was on the main stage. So, and then
kudos to the designer for
kudos for the design. But guess what? Those are the ones that are buying the clothes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like not everybody's 6 foot.
So I think all that whole thing, even like what we're getting ready to go into now, is just an illusion.
Yep. The elusive hourglass figure, having a tiny waist but a huge butt and a huge bust. It's not just possible for most women without surgery. How is it possible to grow big bottoms when some women have a body fat percentage of like 13 to be skinny? So that's not achievable it's like you should just appreciate your body that you have, work on it to be the best body that you have, that you can make it be. Whether you have hourglass figure, straight up and down, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What are these different body shapes? Whatever shape you find yourself in, be happy with it. I mean, who has an hourglass? Only model I know, Marilyn Monroe. You know anybody since then? I mean the dashies, whatever you call them. But look, that wasn't free. I mean, that wasn't. They weren't born with that stuff. They went and got the cuts and the pulls and all that kind of stuff. What happens when you get 60, girls? Come on, let's have a conversation about it. I would love to have a conversation about it with you guys. So I don't think people look at the aging process. That stuff drops. And you can't be cut but so many times as you get older. That stuff drops. So Marilyn Monroe, and there was another lady I researched that I found. I don't have her name right now. One of the main people back in the day who had that shape. But then again, did she? Because they wore those
corsets.
That pulled your waistline in. So do we really know? Do we really know? So those are the type of things. Anything else about what do you have to do to achieve that? You ever thought about that?
Achieving the hourglass figure can be quite the conundrum. It's a bit like trying to solve a mathematical equation that doesn't add up. In reality, body shapes are as unique as snowflakes, and genetics play a significant role in determining our proportions. So while some folks can pull off the hourglass look effortlessly, for most, it's more of a product of Photoshop or surgery.
Thank you for put surgery in there. Put surgery in there, because that's the truth. That's
a lot of the women get nowadays BBL. That's like a lot. All I see on Instagram is a lot of BBLs. Nobody wants to work out anymore.
What's BBLs?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, that butt lift thing. That's what they call it. I just went on past that. Oh, that's ridiculous. I don't that I don't have to worry about. None of that back there. But anyway, yeah, I mean, really, it's just something that's what do you say is more Photoshop than magic?
I mean, I think like the ones that people get that look natural, okay, but there's some people that get the
just
BBLs
take it to the
and
extreme.
they're crazy.
Yeah,
They're crazy.
And unfortunately, what happens in a lot of those issues, they start off basic. And these are people I followed through the years through Hollywood. I followed through the years through entertainment. They start off basic, and they just get crazy with it. You know, they just get crazy with it. There's some
never satisfied.
And I've seen people get disfigured from it. You know, if you go and look up some of the models of Hollywood people or famous people who've had all these surgeries that looks at, you'd be surprised what pops up on Google. You see their picture here and there, and it's like, wow, what happened? So I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, but you know, just whatever you do it with common sense. You know, if that's something you do.
Going back to plastic surgery, sorry, but Madonna. I don't know what she did.
I haven't seen her yet.
She looks, I mean, her face, I think she had like some kind of work into her face, but she doesn't look like herself anymore. I think she's trying to look like she's a 20-year-old, but she's not.
She's 60 now. She's in her 60s.
Yeah. I think she had like a BBL too.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, my girl who looks good, but then she was good. I'm sorry, Cher, till you put them lips on, because I mean, Cher looks good, but not really when you get up close. You know, I mean, her body.
I haven't seen her. I mean, to me, she looks okay.
She looks good, but see, I remember Cher with the thin lips. See, I mean, that was my girl, Sonny and Cher back in the day. Yeah. So I've seen her grow through those, and she looks good. Her body is fabulous, but I thought she looked prettier without the big lips. Yeah, I thought she was prettier. That was just her, you know. But that's what she wanted to do, and you know, hey, that's the beauty of it. If that's what you want, you go for it. So anyway, we're going to get ready to go on a break, and guess what? You are watching. What are they watching?
The Marlene Cox Show.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. So I'm enjoying this discussion. So what are we talking about next?
Oh, we're going to talk about haircuts, and we're going to talk about haircuts for men with long hair. And sometimes I feel like the industry has kind of passed through some of this because a lot of hairstylists have refused really they wouldn't fool around with the men with long hair, but I think that's changed. I think a lot of that's changed, and depends on the area of the country that you're into too. How close are you to a larger city? If you're more rural, you might run into that problem a little bit more. But mostly if you are surrounded by a larger city, I don't think men run that problem with getting haircuts, because the day is inclusive. Because you have hairstylists that are men who really tend to know how to cut men's hair who's long. Who they might wear their hair long because they are men, So it all depends. So I think some of that today is it could be a little confusing. I think it's no difference in a haircut on a long hair man or a long hair woman. It just depends on where you live in the country. I think that's what make the difference. And today's stylists are more forward thinking.
I think for a man who has long hair and they go to a barbershop, then maybe the barber probably might not deal with long hair.
Yes, that's
so
a different way of looking.
Go to the regular hair salon.
That's where you go. That's the point. Okay, that's a good point. Because maybe they are going to a barbershop thinking, well, I always go to the barbershop. But maybe they need to change the way they think. Because if you go to a hair salon, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
hair is hair.
Hair is hair there. Hair is hair there. So we no longer have that. So we'll go ahead and Valencia. We'll talk a little bit about you're gonna. And that's something we've been talking about anyway. Lips.
Yeah. Lip fillings and buccal fat removal. It makes genuinely stunning women look terrible. Like if you have naturally thin lips, just keep it that way. I mean, you can maybe enhance it a little bit, but just don't go overboard.
Yes.
You don't have to duck lips.
Yeah, I think someone who has maybe. Their top lip just might be a line, and they have nice size, depending on their culture and their back. And that I can see someone like that enhancing that to match this, but not to overdo it.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Yeah, don't overdo it.
Yeah, the pursuit of the ideal pout can occasionally lead to some rather unconventional results. We don't want that. It's as if some folks have taken duck face to a whole new level. In the quest for full, plump lips, it's essential to remember that moderation is key. Do what looks natural for you. There you go. Sometimes it's the surgeon that they just want all the extra money. So that you need more to no. Be like, just say, I just wanted to look natural for myself. Thank you. And surgeons, don't be doing it overboard. Don't be going overboard for people and your customers.
Yeah, they do. And some people are just intimidated because they're a doctor. And when they say I look better, no, how do you feel you would look? Yeah. Any of it's fine. I would never say I'll never do it. I don't think if I ever do it, I won't be going to extreme. I wouldn't mind having a little tight right up in here. But I don't think I would want to go to the extremes of doing something that's not even going to make me look like myself. Yeah. You want to always look like yourself.
Speaking of looking like yourself, I don't know if you've seen, did you watch Housewives of Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, so she's not on the show anymore, but Nene, she looks really different now.
She looks like a different person.
Different person.
She looks like she's gotten so much surgery. She looks like a different person.
She looks good, but she looks
good. Nene, you look good, girl. But you know what? You're hitting 50 if you're not there. You got to be careful. On what but she really does look good. I always liked her with the blonde hair. That was her. That's where she started, and then from her nose, she took it down her lip. But she does look good. I mean, but I don't. If someone who saw her in the beginning of the show and they wouldn't know, some maybe would walk by her at the harbor watching her because she used to have a boutique down there. But she look good now, girl. You look good. Go ahead on there. So, it's up to, and someone else who had some work done. Well, two people have had work done. They're older and seasoned, Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle. But just enough.
Yeah, they look natural.
They just had enough done to look natural. They didn't take it aboard, go crazy with it, So I think they really look nice with that, So we're going to talk about the eyebrow trends. Eyebrows sometimes they say they're spiraling out of control, but it all depends. Because eyebrows play a very pivot role in framing our face. For 2024, it's more like the bushy, sharp, sculptured and vivid color. People are dealing with colors in the eyebrows, and I think if it's bushy, but bushy is different bushy for different people. Yeah. Bushy doesn't mean everybody's going to go around with that great big bushy. Bushy might be for somebody who has thin eyebrows to add a little bit more. So we just have to be conscious, as you say, what looks good on you. That's the style for 2024. We don't know what's going into 2025, so you don't want to, because they're doing the tattoos and they're doing the tattoo eyebrows now. So once you do
been a thing for a while.
Yeah, and once it's there, it's there.
Yeah. Some people look nice. Some people, I could tell it's tattoo.
Yeah, you could tell it's tattoo.
Yeah.
When you find the one who looks good, let me know, because I wouldn't mind having some done. But I don't see no good ones.
I know somebody who has some. You know this person too, but I'm not going to say their name. But I'll tell you though later.
Okay. Yeah, but I want to know who they went to, because I'm afraid to go to the ones who send me to people when I look at theirs. I'm like, I'm going. I would say, oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm like, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know for me, like, I have My eyebrows, they were thicker, but I've waxed and so they got a little bit thinner, but they're not full. So when I do my eyebrows, I look like it makes my face pop. And so
They
I like
do.
the
You
eyebrows.
need to do your eyebrows. Everybody does.
That's really frame your face if you do a good job with it.
They look good, and you have the broadness that you need. And see, the whole thing, when I look at your face, I'm looking at your eyebrows. The distance between your eyebrows and your hairline and your hairline is natural. So if you don't do that right on a certain face, and the eyebrows are way up here, and you look at the distance, you're like, oh my gosh. You would look at that people, what's going on? Well, the distance is too much, and that's what some people don't understand.
And one time, I don't know if they still do it. Some people still do it, but it was like the ombre eyebrow trend. Like it was really light in the front of the eyebrows, and then the dark.
Yes.
That I didn't like that look.
No, I didn't like. I mean, an entertainer wants to do that. They're on stage because they're on stage all the time. So I think a lot of these things, I think, depend on what the industry that you're in. Or some people just want to be. I mean, people, and I mean, I've gotten used to it. People going around with blue hair, pink hair, purple hair. I mean, it don't even bother me anymore. But I mean, it's not for everybody, and I think it needs to be in the right area. I mean, if I walk and my lawyer walks in the room with blue hair, I don't want them lawyering me. Okay, so it's that time now.
Time for
Tips and trends.
I bet you're making one of these 3 common skincare mistakes. Mistake number 1, applying your skincare products too close to bedtime. You definitely don't want your skincare products ending up on your pillow instead of in your skin. Give it some time to absorb before you go to bed. I recommend doing 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep. Mistake number 2, not applying enough sunscreen. Let your fingers guide you. Take the 6 sections of your fingers and divide your face into 6s. That way you know you're putting enough sunscreen in each area. And mistake number 3, not cleansing long enough. Sing your favorite song up into the hook, and that way you know that you've cleansed long enough.
So some of the things that I noticed in that video was the cinched waist is coming back. Well, I don't know if it's coming back, but the cinched waist is going to be in the fall, this fall season coming up. And with the winter coats and shirts and everything, and Western wear is coming back, studs. That's kind of like something that was like in the 2000s coming back now, but
Good.
yeah, the studs are cute. So those were your tips and trends. So now we're going to talk about what?
Oh, we're going to talk about around town. Okay, we're going to talk about around town. We have a couple events that I think that you would really be interested in around town. We have the DC Coffee Festival for all you coffee lovers out there, and you got a chance to kind of plan for this because this is not going to be until October the 5th and 6th, and it's going to be down on Duck Street at 5th and Union Market, 1309 5th Street Northeast, Washington, D.C. So all of you coffee lovers and all you restaurant owners, you might want to get down there. You might find a nice nice coffee. I'm a tea drinker, so I went right on into your tea. And then I'm going to bring you back to what we had on the last show, was the Mount Vernon Fall Wine Festival. You're going to see that too within that same week. So you got some choices, and that's on Mount Vernon Memorial Highway. And for all you wine tasters, if you're ready to go back to deal with the different wineries, because we have a lot of them in this DMV area, so we have that around town. So what's next for us today?
So for the preview of next week's show will be Connecting Style with Fashion, New York Fashion Week.
Wow, I'm excited about that. So now we're going to connect everything together, what we went through today on the show, all of the things as far as feeling good in your skin, being all those things that we mentioned, your eyebrows, your lips, your skin, your body shape, your height, how that you're good to you. So whatever one of those you fall in, it's good for you. That's how you were made, and you were beautifully made. No one else is like you. Grab it, live into it, and become part of it. Check us out at the Maya Modeling Talent Agency so we can help you make your style or help you with your career, whatever you want. So what we always say at the end of each show, each day is a blank canvas, and you are the artist. And with every stroke of the brush, your thoughts and your action, you have the opportunity to make this day your best masterpiece. And we will see you next week, and you are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
Watching the Marlene Cox Show. Finally, a show for models about models.